Hi, I have us live on YouTube and on Instagram. So I figured out how to balance my phone so I can do right in front on both. Um, how are we feeling tonight? Hi. I'm glad we were able to get together because there's so much going on, right? I mean, there's always so much going on, but sometimes what's going on is heavier and more in our face than usual. Um, so I wanted to do a guided meditation tonight for ourselves, but also for humanity as a whole, which I know is a big ask, but I think we can do that. And then we'll talk. And then we'll do some tarot. You guys can ask questions at the end if anyone has them. Q&A. And I have my tarot card, so we're all set for that. Um, and yeah, and answer any questions you guys have. Talk to me about how you all are feeling. How are you feeling with how are you feeling? Let's just keep it simple. You can hear my dog Opal chewing on her bone. That's the sound you hear. You're feeling heavy. That's a great way. Melancholy here. Good. Those are really good words. Better words than I could come up with. Heavy is a good word, right? Heavy, melancholy. And so we'll talk about processing that. We'll talk about, a lot of people refer to themselves as empaths, which is right, having that heavy sense of empathy, being able to feel others, feeling the heaviness of others, or feeling the heaviness of the planet, feeling all of that, right? And when we consider ourselves empaths, or just have the capability to really feel the intensity of a situation, right? Whether that situation is global or that situation is within your own world, or people you know, or people you work with, you feel like you feel a little bit heavier than others. And what we want to be able to do is get to a point in our lives where we have tools in place to manage these feelings, so that we aren't feeling burdened by them. We aren't feeling resentful of them. It doesn't weigh us down. It doesn't make us feel bad or drained, right? Now, I'm not saying there's going to be days where you're just drained. There's going to be times where you're feeling heavy, where you're feeling melancholy, and there's something you can do to fix that. And we're not supposed to fix it, right? It's not about fixing it. It's about understanding our capabilities and being able to manage them. Because at the end of the day, no matter what's going on in the world, the most cliche but most honest saying is peace starts within, right? So if you have peace with your own ancestral trauma, if you have peace with your own family currently in this body, if you have peace with your own job, if you have peace with your own immediate family, like your spouse, your kids, what have you, then you will share peace with others. Now, peace doesn't mean that you're constantly smiling and forgiving everybody and life is just, a bunch of roses. That means that you have learned how to navigate emotions, others' emotions, your own emotions. You've learned how to put a trust and a faith into something much larger than yourself, reminding yourself that it's not all about you, and that you're 50-50 co-creators, and that if you have done your 50% and spirit, God, whomever you refer to it as, is in the middle of doing their 50% and it's not really working for you, that you trust how to navigate that, and you trust what's unraveling and what's being shown, right? Trust doesn't mean we just roll over, and trust doesn't mean we let people steamroll us. Trust means we do our role from a balanced place, and then we trust the other spirit's work or God's work, however we want to refer to it as, right? When we are peaceful within, we still allow ourselves to get angry. Peace is not passive. We still allow ourselves to be frustrated because emotions are what drive us and what change us. They drive us to change, right? They instill anger. So we go out and we influence change, right? Sadness, joy, all of those are essential, but we understand how to navigate the hard ones, right? Joy's easy, happiness is easy. But also keep in mind, excitement can also does tend to turn into anxiety. So we want to make sure and understand that all emotions have a flip side to them. So, how we look at adapting that or translating that to managing what's going on right now in the world, right? So, last time, well, we got together last week, but before that, we were getting together because of the Maui fires, right? And then before that, it's something else. And before that, something else. It's always something. So, I'll share with you my experience with these global sufferings. First off, when you hear about something catastrophic, it reminds you that there's always suffering that's happening. And just because the suffering hasn't hit the news waves or your news feed doesn't mean it's not happening. And so for me, it reminds me that these aren't the only people suffering. There's a lot of suffering happening, which makes it spiral even more. But what it does is it reminds me that it's not all about me. So I allow myself to go through the pain, the sadness, the anger, the tears. I allow myself to experience that when you hear the stories, whether you want to hear them or not, right? Um, and then you start to move yourself out of that and into, what am I going to do with this? Am I going to turn this into activism? Am I going to turn this into maybe finding joy, finding more joy in my life? Because the more joyful I am, that is infectious. What am I doing to shift where I'm at now so I don't stay in this space? What do I would need to do? So I'm vegan, and so for a lot of vegans, when they first go vegan, that's like there's this need to do something because you're finding about all these horrific stories. You find out about what this does to our body, and you feel the need to do something. But that doesn't look the same for everybody, right? Not everyone should be an activist in the streets. Not everyone should be an activist, a teacher teaching something like what I'm teaching. Everyone has a different role. And so when these global things happen, the first thing you do is you process it on your own. You cry, you feel the pain, you do what you need to do to feel connected to others, to help others. And then you decide, what is this moving me to do? What is this inspiring me to do? And it could be something small, it could be something big, it could be something personal, right? At the end of the day, it always has to come from us, this sense of balance and this sense of peace. It has to come from us first. Because if it doesn't come from within you first, then you have work to do, okay? You don't want to go out there raging against somebody that you feel has wronged the planet with the rage that your father instilled, with the rage from a traumatic experience you haven't healed. Because now you're not really going after this newfound anger. You're actually just found an outlet for the anger you haven't worked out yet in your life. That's not serving anybody, because at the end of the day, it's just anger on top of anger, on top of rage, on top of rage, on top of violence, on top, right? So you have to bring it back to you. What do I need to heal? And so, especially when you see this global suffering happening, it can be two lanes, right? You can be active, and you can also be actively working on you at the same time. You can do both. You don't have to wait until one's healed. And then for some of us, it's just a matter of working on that part of us that needs to heal. Because I had this, um, I had this example that came to me in my meditation, which was, you can have a famous, let's say a famous movie star, right? And they create this movie that just changes people's lives. Like, everybody's relating to this. It moves us to tears. It moves us to change. It moves us to all these things. But this famous actor who does this amazing thing is actually abusive and hurtful and narcissistic. And so for the 6 months or the year that this movie is being filmed, every day that this person goes on set, he's affecting hundreds of people with this pain and suffering and anger and narcissism every day. And then that's trickling down and trickling down and trickling down and trickling down. And so it's not about the movie star and the movie they made, even though it might have changed your life, which is important. What ultimately is going to affect the planet is all those hundreds of people that every single day they went in and they just berated or whatever they did, right? Or they just were hurtful and mean. That is what then trickles out. Those hundreds of people, it's that, as awful as this saying is, it's that kick the dog theory, right? Where, someone kicks you and you turn around and kick the most innocent thing that you can find just to release that rage. And all these hundreds of people are now affected by this pain and suffering. And so no matter what kind of job you have to be able to have enough consciousness to be practicing this internal peace always. Now, I'm not preaching this because I've mastered it at all. And I use the word practice because that's what we're doing, is we're practicing, and we will all spend our lives practicing this internal peace, because some days you'll nail it and some days you will fail miserably. And that is just the tale of being human. But here's the thing, on the days that we fail miserably, we're not failing nearly as bad as someone who's unconscious, because there's still that part of us that is seeking to do better. And sometimes we're just pushed. Sometimes it's just the way it is, right? So remembering, no matter what job you do and no matter what you're doing all day, it's how you treat yourself before you enter that environment that matters the most. Are you doing self-care every day before you step out into the world? That's meditation, stretching, whatever that is for you. But ideally, it's, not a cigarette and coffee. It's a form of meditation, or walking without earbuds, or stretching with just deep breathing. That's that self-care. I had a client the other day say, "Oh, it's really time for me to take a vacation. I really need a vacation. I really need a vacation." And vacations are important and great, of course. But it occurred to me, I thought, ever since I really stepped onto this path, I never craved a vacation. What I crave is balance every morning. What I crave is bringing myself to balance if I have to every afternoon. Not always, right? What I crave is that opportunity to put myself back into balance. Because if I'm doing that every single day, then that long vacation isn't needed. It's a joy and it's extra, but it's not a quick, because ultimately that vacation is just a temporary fix, because you're not doing something daily for self-care. So when we go back to the global connection and feeling the heaviness, feeling the melancholy, some of us will feel that. Like I just started coming out of it today. Some of us may feel it longer. Some of us may feel it for shorter periods of time. There's no rule. because I was in meditation and it wasn't time for me to lift that. I still felt like I needed to mourn with others, right? And then it also invited me to mourn for those that aren't publicly mourning, because there's a whole group of people on the planet that are suffering that we aren't aware of. And so for me, that's what that door opened me up to, not to spiraling into suffering, but to extending myself and my work somehow to reach as many people that are suffering that I can, even if they're not on your news feed. And so then also deepening who we are and our balance and our peace, right? And so that means learning how to balance the emotional body. And how we balance the emotional body is through meditation, it's through therapy, it's through journaling, it's through yoga, it's through healthy diet, it's through exercise. Essentials. And there's no shortcut. There's no shortcut. It's essentials. Okay. Any questions about that? Comments, questions, anything before we go into our meditation? Okay. So if you're new to meditation, just get comfortable, lie down if you want. Lean against something. It's short. We'll just do about 10, 11 minutes unless spirit takes me flying off somewhere else. Stephanie says that was helpful. Oh, good, Stephanie. Thank you for that. Thank you for listening and for joining in. Lady Jen Brown, very needed. All things I've neglected doing lately. Yeah, habit, creating a habit. The more you can create a habit with a meditation practice, with journaling, with therapy, the more it becomes just a habit, then the easier things get. And I always talk about starting with just 60 seconds of meditation. Just start small, 1 minute, and then maybe a few minutes of journaling, whatever that. Hi, Trisha. Helpful as always. Good. Whatever that is for you, because the moral of the story is this: you want to retrain the brain to crave balance, to crave inner peace. So inevitably life is going to go chaotic. Inevitably. That's inevitably, right? Inevitably you're going to have a wonderful, peaceful morning and you're going to step outside and all hell's going to break loose. It's inevitable, right? We know that. And some days we manage it with grace and some days we don't. And that's okay. But if you crave balance, you will have tools that will bring you back into balance, right? So maybe on the drive into work, if it's already chaotic, people are honking at you, whatever, you have that meditation music on, or you have a lecture, or you have a book on tape that's joyful, or whatever that is, right? Like you have your tools. That will bring you back into balance. And eventually those tools will bring you back into balance quick, right? And then sometimes they'll stop working, so you have to find something else. So being able to have that at your disposal. We can't stop the chaos. We can't stop the suffering, but we can stop it internally, which will inevitably ripple through everyone we reach, touch, see, speak to. Inevitably. I mean, I think we can all say we've had a moment where we were just maybe having a good day, a bad day, whatever. Someone was just unusually nice. They didn't need to be. Like, for me, what always affects me is when you go somewhere busy, like a Starbucks or a grocery store or something, and then you just see how slammed they are, and someone is just still super, super nice. I worked customer service for like 20 years, so I know how difficult it is to be smiling at the end of your day. And when people do that, it really affects me, right? We've all had that moment where someone just really affected us, and made us feel okay for that moment. And that is the person you will end up being all the time for someone else, whether you know it or not. Because when you start to find that inner peace, you will start to share that with others. You won't even know that you're affecting and influencing in them in that way. And then they're going to, their desire, whether it's conscious or subconscious, will be to find that joy in them. How are they happy? How are they like that? And it's real, right? Because we've all met people that have a happiness that you can feel something's that's not totally real. Like they have found this smile to mask the suffering, and we can all feel that too, right? So being able to genuinely share a joy that isn't I'm joyful and never sad and never angry. It's I'm joyful because um I'm seeking that. And sometimes you'll have a meditation and you'll have an inner peace for about 2 hours, and then you have to go back. Like I used to go into my office, and before I had an office, I'd go sit on the toilet in the bathroom and listen to 60 seconds of meditation music. You know what I mean? So it's always it's always something that we're bouncing back to. Trisha says, through your teachings, I've been able to communicate with him. And you want to say thank you. Thank you, Trisha. Okay, I said we would start a meditation a long time ago. So sorry, let's start. Okay, close your eyes. 3 deep releasing breaths. So deep inhale through the nose, exhale, blow it out. Really push the air out. Okay. Keeping the eyes closed, continue to gently deepen the breath. So gently deepen the inhale, gently lengthen the inhale, and gently slow down the inhale. Gently deepen the exhale, gently lengthen the exhale, gently slow down the exhale. Slowing down the breath, but listening, feeling the breath. Not forcing the change, allowing the change. And as we do this, we feel the belly move. Feel the belly expand on the inhale. Feel the belly release on the exhale. Feeling the belly expand on the inhale. Feeling the belly pull in on the exhale. Notice if the belly is moving with the breath or if there's tightness in the belly. And if you're feeling tightness in the belly, deepen the breath and gently assist the belly in moving with the breath. Retraining the belly to move with the breath. Retraining the belly to be flexible, pliable, open. The belly is our connection to the outside world. The belly is where we digest our relationships, society, social media, food. We digest all experiences in the belly. So we want that belly to move freely. We want to move past this idea of needing to suck the belly in. Allow the belly to expand. And as we go through our day, we learn to check in and notice if the belly's tight or if we can breathe into a softer belly. Allowing yourself to grow heavy, allowing yourself to feel weighted in your body, allowing yourself to feel your body, allowing the thoughts to be there. We don't want to lose the thoughts. We want them to be there. We will do our best to not engage with the thoughts or feed into the thoughts. Watch them walk past. Allow the memory to spill out. Allow any visuals you've seen on television or social media to come up and to gently go away. How do we allow the memories and the visuals to move away is by not grabbing on, doing our best to not emotionally grab on, doing our best. Sometimes we get caught in and we need to be in that and we need to feel the anger, the sadness, whatever it is, and that's okay. I've had plenty of meditations where I just allowed myself to be in that memory. And then I gently pull myself out when I'm done. Only you know when you're done with that experience. As you continue to breathe, we move the belly. And I want you to now to gently release the breath. So no longer forcing that inhale and exhale. Just relax the breath for a moment. Let it move on its own. Let the belly move on its own. And I just want you to observe the sound of your breath, the depth of your breath, what your breath feels like. Just observe that for a moment. Okay. Wherever you're at, take a deep exhale and blow all the air out. We're going to do 3 rounds of counted breath. Slowly inhale for a count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let everything go. Let the breath move on its own. Let the belly stay relaxed and soft. Keeping the eyes closed, I want you to feel, see, imagine a star right in front of you. And this star might be blinking, might not be, might be fading in and out, might not be. You decide. What is the first image or feeling you see when this star came up? And hold your gaze with the star. Hold your gaze with the star. Keep the breath moving as you hold your gaze with the star. And the star is sending out light to you. It's filling you. For some of you, this light is pink. For some of you, this light is silver. For some of you, this light is blue, green. For some of you, it's lavender, purple. For some of you, it's all of those colors, none of those colors. But the star that your gaze is on, tight, is sending light specifically to you. And it's filling you. And it's holding you. It's reminding you where you come from. It's reminding you of what lives in you. It's reminding you of who you are as a consciousness beyond this physical body. It's reminding you of your connection to spirit. It's reminding you that we are all connected, and that connection is imperative. Feel this, breathe this in. Deepen the breath if you need to. As you feel it, see it, imagine it. There's no rules. The only rule is to allow the body to be completely immersed in this light, in this star, to allow yourself to let go of the outside world and just float through these colors, to feel this connection to something beyond you, bigger than you, and to feel the faith and trust that lives in this connection, a faith and trust that can't be described but can only be felt. And now I want you to take these colors, whatever colors are strongest to you, and I want you to feel them moving through your body. Feel them, see them, imagine them moving through the body, moving through spaces that maybe feel tight. And use the breath to do this. Inhale the light in, exhale it, moving it through the body. Inhale the light in, exhale as it moves through the body. Inhale the light in, exhale as it moves through the body, moving through spaces that are stuck, that are sad, that are tight. Allow these colors to move and use the breath to move them. And as you feel, imagine, see your body filled with these colors. I want you to inhale, and as you exhale, push these colors out and allow them to surround the planet. Inhale the colors in, exhale, push them out. They can come out through the top of the head, through the sit bones, through the belly, through the throat, wherever you feel, imagine, see it happening. Push the energy out and move that light over the planet. And if you're not sure what that looks like or feels like, simply imagine the planet and then imagine the light covering the entire planet. And the planet absorbing this light just like a plant would absorb water. Feel this, see this, imagine this. Use the breath to help you. Inhale the light in from the star. It moves through your body, and on the exhale, you push it out into the planet, healing the planet. Inhale the light in, exhale, you push that light through the body and out into the planet. Continue with this breath, continue with this movement. Use the breath, especially if it becomes difficult, if you feel yourself becoming anxious, Use the breath, deepen the breath. Keep that gaze on the star that's supplying you with this light. Feel that star, see that star. Feel the light move through you and pushing it out onto the planet. Just one more minute here. Allowing yourself to get lost in the movement of the breath. Allowing the belly to stay soft. Allowing these colors to overwhelm you. Allowing this light to completely engulf and encircle the planet. Imagining, feeling, seeing the planet absorb this light just like a plant would water. It's desperate for it, knowing that that light will reach whoever it needs to reach. If there's somewhere specific you want to send it, absolutely. All right. Slowing the breath down, no longer pushing through the breath. Finishing up where you're at, allowing the light to slowly recede back into the star. Holding the star, no need to disconnect from the star. But you do want to feel, imagine, see yourself coming back into your body. Become aware of the sounds and the smells around you. Become aware of what the ground feels like around you. Rub the palms of the hands together to bring yourself back into body. 3 releasing breaths that'll ground you, that'll keep you present, that have you back where you should be. And then taking your hands, placing them on your belly, opening your eyes, and just for a moment, relaxing the shoulders, relaxing the fingers, relaxing the body. With the eyes open, allow yourself to feel the energy moving from your hands, and allow yourself to feel this as you are present, as you are here. Allowing yourself to feel yourself here, and at the same time, feeling the energy that you just created, the energy that you just co-created with spirit, the universe. If anyone would like to share their experience, you are welcome to. You do not have to. For a lot of us, that experience, when we have meditations, it's not something we can describe, which is good. It's good if you can't describe it. If you can describe it, even better. But trusting both. And then we can move to some tarot. If anyone has any questions about the meditation, about their own spiritual journey, about anything, now's the time. Gladys, my star was blue with black and silver. That's beautiful. Trisha, after the week I've had, I feel much better with the weight has been lifted. Good. It was peaceful, Magic Oracle. Good. Thank you. Star was white, but the light turned into rainbow colors. I'm laughing, Harlow, because that's exactly what mine looked like. That's funny. It's not funny. That's very cool. Thank you for sharing that, you guys. I always love hearing your experiences after I say, you may not be able to describe it, and it's great if you can't describe it. And then I'm like, describe it. Oh my God. Being human is hard. All right. What do we got? Anything? Anyone? No questions? That's great. Magic Oracle. My star was white and it was giving me white, but then it gave me blue. Oh, that's so cool. Oh, that's so cool when it changes like that. I love that. That's awesome. That's awesome. Lady Jen Brown. Very relaxing, grounding, and my star was pulsing white light. Cool. Oh, yours was pulsing. That's very cool. Oh, I'm glad to hear that. Thank you for sharing. Also, Lady Jen Brown, I feel like I haven't seen you before here. Did you find, are you new here, or did you find me with Dawn maybe? Gladys is heartbroken. You're heartbroken over Sammy. Is Sammy, I'm taking Sammy was a partner of some sorts. Is that the person I read for you, Gladys? Trisha, my star was tan. Oh, look at that. That's cool. Tan. Ooh. I know colors mean stuff, right? This is stuff I don't know, but that would be cool to know what tan means. That would be neat, neat, neat. That's cool. Gladys is heartbroken over Sammy. I'm sorry. Oh, heartbreak never gets easier, right? That's not something, that's not something we can meditate our way through. It's just like we can't meditate our way through grief, right? We just got to allow ourselves to feel and go through it. Magic Oracle, thank you for the meditation. Everyone have a beautiful night. Thank you. Thank you for joining. Thank you for being here, because I needed that meditation just as much as everyone else. First live, I accidentally stumbled while scrolling through reels. Oh, your earlier talk on rage was spot on. There are no coincidences. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Thank you. Thanks for joining. Thanks for sharing how you found me. Nothing like conversations on rage. Look at the card that came up. Meditate and contemplate. We get it. Cool. Well, if you guys don't have any questions, even better. Thank you for the meditation. Haven't been here a while. This is Drea. Hi, Drea. Hi. I haven't been here for a while. I've been on YouTube with Dawn, but Dawn's got a bunch of other projects going on. So I have a question. Sure, ask away. Ask away. That's cool. That's cool. What's your question? Oh, and for those that are interested, we take a detour tonight at 7:00. We do the me and Harlow are doing the October Haunted Home series, which is fun. It's fun stuff. We investigate some haunted homes, and tonight is Stacy's. It's a private home. So last time we did the Whaley House, which is more famous, but tonight is a private home. I was recently in Peru about 25 years and saw and met my father's family. He passed 3 years ago. Okay. Just wanted to know if he was around. Okay. So yeah, so this is what I say in these situations. When we lose a loved one, they're always going to be around, right? They're around as long as we need them. And so a little bird came and dropped a seed. Okay. So our loved ones are always around. It's about us. So how I explain it is it's about us now needing to learn their language. So when we cross over, those that have survived, that are in human bodies still, that have survived this spirit, it's our job to learn spirit's language. It's our job to learn how to speak, because when they pass over, they are abundantly light, and for the sake of conversation, there's an all-knowingness to them, right? They drop those human emotions, human experiences. And so they're not the ones up there going, how, I can't see them, I can't hear them. They know how to be there for us. It's us that needs to learn their language. It's us that needs to learn now how to communicate with them. And this is the beautiful thing about, when we lose loved ones, it's our opportunity to rebirth. It's our opportunity to rebirth and change. And 99% of the time, that person that has passed is the catalyst for that change, because sometimes we're just so desperate to feel them and to experience them, we allow ourselves to finally move past this physical body and experience them. And how do we do that? We do that through a meditation practice. We do that through yoga. We do that through healthy eating. We do that through exercise. Why all those things? Because this body, intuition, spirit's communication can only move through us if we are clear. So it has to move through all of the emotions. It has to move through any physical ailments. It has to move through any depression, any blah, blah, blah. It has to move through all that. Now, spirit is strong. And so when they want to get a message across, they will, no matter what. And a lot of times we have these experiences in our dreams. But when we are desperate to feel that loved one, the best thing we can do is continue the grieving process, because every time we grieve, we are disconnecting ourselves from that human aspect of them, and not in a negative way, not in a forgetful way, but we're allowing that human connection to be completed. And we're allowing ourselves to then connect to their spirit, because we can't connect to the spirit if we're obsessed with the physical, right? And so and I don't mean obsessed in a bad way at all. I'm using that word as kind of a way to describe what we all do when we love deeply, right? And so when they pass and the grief starts to disconnect that physical connection, right? And again, I'm not saying we lose memory. I'm saying it's a literal physical disconnect that has to happen. So then we can lift ourselves up and connect with their spirit. And now it's the same experience, it's the same soul, but a different form of communication. One way to kind of explain it is by, if you have a best friend that moves away, or if you've divorced someone, you have to learn a new way of communication. If someone has moved away, you can't hang out for coffee anymore. That new form of communication is Zoom or phone or text. If you've divorced someone, there's a new form of communication, and it's not going to be lovey-dovey, or it might not be, whatever it was. It's now maybe going to be more, have more boundaries. It's going to be different. It's a different form of communication, is my point. That's the exact same thing happens when someone dies. And so when you have this experience that you had of this bird showing itself and dropping a seed, yes, that is them. Never question if that is them. If you feel it, it is them. Your feeling and your connection to them will always be more accurate than mine or anyone else's. Always. The only thing standing in your way is doubt. Okay. Because my ability to communicate with those that have passed on, you all have the same ability. It's just I've practiced it longer. I've honed it in. And I was born with it a little bit louder, right? But we all have it. And so, is this person around? Yes. Are you desperate to feel them? Beautiful. Then what is it that you can do? So you might say to me, well, listen, I already do yoga all the time and nothing's happening. Or you might say to me, I do meditate and I'm not feeling anything. So a couple things is, then let's look at our diet. Then let's look at our health. Then let's say it's time. And when the time is right, you will have the experience. So this is an example of 50-50 co-creators, right? Like diet, exercise, health, journaling, meditation, therapy, yoga, all these things, that's our 50%. And if you've done all those things and you're still not feeling and seeing or hearing them, then it's spirit's 50% that we're waiting on. Okay. The other thing is, remember, when we do meditation, when you meditate daily, you're not necessarily going to have experiences in that meditation. You're not necessarily going to hear them in the meditation. It can come throughout the day. It may happen throughout the day, right? And so, like, a lot of times for me, meditations are just a purging of emotions, and anything intuitive comes after throughout my day because I've cleared that up, right? So being able to kind of check in with yourself and say, what do I need to do? Falling asleep with meditation music on, that helps in balancing, because our dreams are just a combination of what we watched on TV, our past trauma, our future fears, conversations we had that day. So to be able to balance the mind before we sleep with meditation music, that can also help open the door for them to come in through your dreams. All these ways, there's nothing wrong with calling someone like me and asking them to talk to them for you. But ultimately, what's going to really change your life, what's going to really shift your healing, your grief, is when you begin to have those experiences. What else we got? 6 minutes. And then I jump off, and over on YouTube is where we'll do the haunted house. Good questions, good meditation tonight. I hope that was helpful. I'll be back next week. We'll do this all over again. You're welcome, Trisha. And like I said, I'll be on YouTube in about 5 minutes, and we're going to do a haunted house, which will be fun. Well, it might be emotional for Stacy, but it'll be fun for us. And let's get together again next week and do this all over again. All right. Everybody have a good night. And I'll see some of you guys in just a few minutes on YouTube.